Hi guys, welcome to this video. In this video, we have a CAT 2017 question. I'm Prashant, I'm the founder of Word Pandit, and I'll explain you the reasoning for this particular question. So let's get started with it. In this particular question, you're asked, the author points out all of the following about electric cars except. So the first thing you've got to note here is this is an except question. One of these options is not a valid one. We'll actually start with the option which is not valid here, the statement about electric cars that does not fit, and then we will also analyze the three statements which fit in the given case. Option number D is the odd one out, and there is a specific reason for this. Even though this option might seem deceptive to you, they will ultimately undermine rather than further driver autonomy. Seems like a correct option. There was some kind of a reference for this option in the passage, right? Let's refer to those specific lines. In para 6 of the passage, it states, this is where the fantasy of autonomy comes full circle. The logical outcome of cars which need no driver is that they will become cars which need no owner either, right? Now in this particular case, the thing that you got to keep in mind is this particular option is stating that they will ultimately, electric vehicles will ultimately undermine rather than further driver autonomy. Now this kind of goes against, right, what is given in the passage 1, because in the sense of driving, right, there is going to be autonomy of vehicles, there is going to be driving autonomy there, but there is one thing that is not going to happen. This particular line actually implies the ownership of vehicles is going to change, right? More than the driver autonomy, this is going to hurt private ownership of vehicles, right? So that is what the passage is pointing out to. Now, if option D had been they will ultimately undermine rather than further private ownership of vehicles, this would have been absolutely correct as a statement, but this states driver autonomy. Electric vehicles, they don't impact driver autonomy as such, right? It is the usage of these vehicles, and ultimately when we will have cars which will be self-driven, right? We will reach a technology when cars will be self-driven. Those are going to impact autonomy, not electric vehicles in themselves, right? So it's the concept of self-driven cars that is going to hurt driver autonomy and not electric vehicles. So this is a very, very subtle change in the passage, and this is why option number D is incorrect. This is a subtle change. This is tough to spot in the given time constraints, and this is generally a difficult question. Now the other options are derived from the passage itself. Option number A, their reliance on rare materials for batteries will support despotic rule. This is derived from the lines where the author says the rarest materials for batteries would make undeserving despots and their dynasties fantastically rich. So basically there is going to be competition for rare materials, and these rare materials would be needed for electrical batteries. These would in turn further fuel despots and dynasties. Option B, they will reduce air and noise pollution. Directly given in the passage, the air in cities would once again be more breathable. The streets would be quiet as those in Venice. So air and noise pollution directly referred to. They will not decrease the number of traffic jams. Remember, traffic jams are a function of mass ownership of vehicles. So even though electric vehicles are going to help, the author states this as a negative, right? That mass ownership of vehicles is not going to change with electric vehicles. This is another clue for you when he says mass car ownership is not going to change. When he says mass car ownership is not going to change, this again further tells us that driver autonomy is not going to change as such because of electric vehicles. It's only when self-driven cars come into the picture, driver autonomy is going to get impacted. This is how you derive the answer for this question. Difficult question, requires careful analysis, but if you understand the question, if you understand the theme and flow of it, you will be able to answer it. Hopefully so you're clear with the question now. Thank you very much for watching this video and happy learning.